power. And Canelo is a guy that has power but is constantly working on it. There's a great clip of him working with Andy Ruiz, and they're you know that shield, that weird hand shield that they hold up
when you hold,
which for hooks.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is not for speed, this is just power, just power. He's like, don't try to be fast with this, just power. And you see him just
It's different. Yeah, Canelo using single punch. Yeah, he put full his energy and he punched once, and it's hurt also.
Canelo will beat Crawford. Boxing pros warn Crawford Canelo's punches are next level. Here's why. Russian fighter Dmitry Bivol, who knows Canelo well, explains that Canelo's power doesn't just come from strength, it's also based on placement, timing, and strategy. Canelo knows when to land his punches for maximum damage. His punches aren't just heavy, they are also placed just right and break down his opponents part by part.
I could compare like with Canelo, yeah? He put all his energy, all his power on single punch. And yeah, maybe single punch sometimes he's harder, Canelo, yeah, than Better Beef.
No way.
Because Better Beef didn't do like, yeah, Better Beef was more like close and compact. Compact.
Tight guard.
Yeah. But if you ask them, let's do like 5 punches, yeah, Better Beef, every punch will be hard. With Canelo, maybe first hard and then not so both of them are strong, but Better Beef is bigger and he born strong.
Edgar Berlanga rates Canelo's power following their fight. Berlanga did not pull any punches. He gave a real, honest assessment of how devastating Canelo's power is at close range. He spoke of the pace and explosion of Canelo's punches and how that power changes the fight altogether.
I'll say he is the hardest, for sure. One of the fighters that hit very hard was Angulo. You know, he's a Cuban guy and he punched very hard too. So I'll say both of them are like the same, but you know, with Canelo, I was just mentally ready for his shots. You know, I already told myself, I know I'm gonna get hit. I know I'm gonna get hit on my chin, but it's, you know, I gotta bite down on my mouthpiece and push. You know, and look what happened in the third round. I got hit with a left hook. I practiced in camp the whole time, you know, keeping my right hand to my chin, and I wound up just moving, and he connected right on my chin. And you see how I punched my glove, you know, that's like a thing for me when I, you know, my last time when I got dropped, I was punching my gloves, because I'm like, damn, I got hit with a shot. I'm not supposed to be on the floor. But, you know, it comes to boxing. You know, the greats done got dropped.
Even the legend's voice, Bernard Hopkins, drops a timeless truth that cuts through all the noise.
That fight, as you say.
I always say, as my quote from the history of boxing, a good big man will always be a good little man.
Yeah.
So I'm going with the big man.
He's been through the wars, felt the punches, and lived the grind. And now Bernard Hopkins is doubling down on an old school truth: size still rules the ring. As we began to discuss the topic further, Julio Cesar Chavez stormed into the conversation and immediately stepped into the fire. He is in fact only dishing out the insults, asserting that he does not stand by physics alone, and is in fact Boskin's claim that size does indeed matter. Put simply, things just escalated.
Se me hace una pelea muy dispareja, ¿me entiendes? Una pelea... mira, Crawford es un gran peleador, ¿me entiendes? Eso nadie lo duda y todo el mundo lo sabemos. Pero en su peso, ¿me entiendes? Ya subir 3 divisiones es ir por el dinero, ¿me entiendes? De que le va a dar pelea, Canelo le va a dar pelea, pero de que le va a ganar, no hay por dónde.
Canelo, I think Canelo has a very good punch, and he used to knocking out bigger guys, naturally bigger guys. He's coming from 200. Crawford's coming from, what, 54? Yeah. It's 2 weight classes. And sometimes putting on that weight, it depends how you put on that weight too, man. Because you could put on that weight and get tired. And your body ain't used to carrying that much weight around. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? I'm leaning more towards Canelo.
If Canelo's size and power will be Crawford's greatest challenge, Lonnie B warns, weight may still be Crawford's kryptonite. And as the emotions start to rise, Demetrius Andrade shocks everyone. He is supporting Crawford, but says he is not picking Crawford to win the fight.
My opinion is my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't think Crawford can beat Canelo. But do I think he can give him a good fight? And I'll be sitting there rooting for Crawford all day. I'm put all my money. I'm always going to bet on black, always. But in reality of it, I just think Canelo knows how to fight. He knows how to come in big, and he can throw hard shots. He's a technical guy too.
Andrade is not trying to sugarcoat this. He doesn't think at the end of the day, Crawford is going to survive. He's obviously a fan of Bud, but he doesn't see it happening because in his mind, Canelo's size, strength, and ring IQ are overwhelming. This is not about feelings. It is about the truth. To top it off, Andrade doubled down by bringing up the smoke he delivered in the Charlo fight.
When it comes to weight and power, man, that shit is real, you know? And then skill level too. Like Canelo's not no pushover. Look what he did to the little girl Charlo. You know what I'm saying? Like Charlo, big bad wolf, and he ran the whole night off of a couple of hooks. Like Canelo threw a couple of hooks and he just ran all night. It's like, where's that? You know, let's fight. I think Crawford has the skills, but when it comes to start getting shots and blocking them power shots, and Canelo knows how to move too. He has agility. It's not like a robot. I mean, it's going to be tough.
This is not just a matter of weight, this is a matter of raw power and soul-snatching ability. It is not just that Canelo hits hard, he breaks spirits and takes a player's heart away. Andrade was seated ringside when Charlo broke down in the fight, and he doesn't believe that Crawford, even a primed one, can just walk through that fire. It is not about skill, it is literally about withstanding a storm painstakingly created to destroy you. Andrade does not see this as a close fight, he sees this as a beatdown. Chavez doesn't just lean towards Canelo, he closed the door on any Crawford hope. He has been around too long and has seen enough.
Honest opinion is I think he's going to be too small. You know, Canelo is still Canelo, you know. I think Crawford is probably #1 pound for pound. But what pound for pound means if they were all in the same weight class. They are not in the same weight class. I mean, 147 to he just moved up, right? I can still say he just moved up from 147 to 168. There are weight classes for a reason. Now, if they were in the same weight class, then it's a different story. It'll be a way more competitive fight, but they're not. You know what I mean? So I think Canelo's gonna win.
In Ortiz's eyes, this isn't just about skills, it's about size, strength, and survival. And Crawford might be stepping into waters too deep. Ortiz acknowledges Crawford's pound-for-pound greatness, but reminds everyone, greatness does not erase weight classes. At 168, Canelo is a different animal, stronger, smarter, and way more experienced. The leap from 147 to Canelo's world is not just significant, it's unkind. Not everyone makes it back from that jump. And then Jim Lampley came along, and then it crescendoed with the brilliance only he could provide.
Canelo's smart. Absolutely, he's smart. He knows this business as well as anybody. So no, it's not surprising that Canelo learned from Floyd and has employed some of that in the retention of his career. Canelo still knows how to make fireworks when he absolutely has to make fireworks. But at the end of the day, he's a counterpuncher. He's a great defender. He has the most solid punch resistance of anybody in the sport. Nobody's ever knocked him off balance. Nobody's ever really knocked him down. There's only one official knockdown in his career, and it was because he bounced off the ropes when Jose Cotto hit him with a hard shot to the chest. And the referee employed a strict interpretation of the rules and said, oh, the ropes held you up, so that's a knockdown. He's never been put on his back by anybody. He rides horseback every morning. His legs are the strongest in the sport. You're not going to beat Canelo until somehow over a long period of time, Canelo beats himself.
This was not loose praise for Canelo. It was a textbook analysis on why Canelo is built differently. Lampley discussed everything from tactical brilliance, granite chin, elite ring IQ, and controlled aggression. He connected the dots from the Floyd-Mayweather loss to the clinical way Canelo fights now. But Lampley just did not belong to the skills. He went even deeper, to the mind.
Gets tired of all the discipline he has had to employ to make all the money he's made. If he has enough giant ranches in the Yucatan, if he has enough beautiful horses, if he has had enough unforgettable dinners with Mexican billionaires in Mexico City and Vegas, then maybe. But my guess is he will retire without incurring another loss, because it's important to him to do that. I do like him against Bud Crawford, but I do think that it's a great fight. Now, I could change my mind when we get closer. Bud Crawford, to me, is a latter-day Sugar Ray Robinson. He has the multiple skills of Sugar Ray Robinson. He can defend or attack. He has a deep inner mean streak that he can employ at any moment in a fight to get what he wants.
He uses Crawford as a comparable to one of the all-time greats to show how incredibly special Bud is. It's not just talent, but a volatile combination of skills, control, and a cold, quiet fire that drives a fighter. Lampley sees a fighter who can change gears immediately, from the calm of a human being into a killer. Joe Rogan and Mike Vecchione jumped in with their observations, a mixture of excitement and prediction, and stark reality about what is actually at stake.
What do you think of Crawford Canelo?
I love it.
Do you?
Yeah, I love that.
See, I don't.
Crawford wants to do it.
I don't love it.
Why?
I think it's Crawford's last fight, so I'm happy he's gonna cash out, and I'm rooting for him. But I would like to see him stay at 54 and fight Virgil Ortiz.
I'd like to see that too,
Yeah.
but the big money is Canelo.
I know.
And why not do it? I mean, what a ballsy move. You go 47 to 54 and you go right up to 68. That's crazy. Because he's really not even at 54.
No.
He's taken the fight at 54. He took Madrimov because it was a big fight.
Yeah.
Wins another world title.
This isn't just a weight class jump, it is jumping into danger, legacy, and huge money. Jumping classes from 147 to 168 without a detour at 154 seems crazy, and it might be a final move. I'm sure there is an acknowledgement of the grit, but there is concern for the cost. Joe Rogan pulled no punches, saying that even if Canelo isn't at peak performance, he is still an animal in the ring.
Crawford's one of the best switch hitters, I think, since Marvin Hagler, and one of the most skillful boxers alive. And then you have Canelo, who probably isn't the same guy as he was just like a few years ago,
Right.
but still one of the greatest of all time, still has brutal knockout power. You know, I mean, if you go back to like some of his, you know, like more impressive fights from a few years ago, like the Amir Khan KO, you know, like the Billy Joe Saunders KO, like those KO, like he's probably not that guy anymore,
Yeah.
but he's still young enough that he's still like pretty close to his prime and one of the best of all time.
This wasn't just nostalgia, it was a wake-up call about what Canelo still brings to the table. Joe Rogan gave Crawford his flowers, no doubt, but when the topic turned to Canelo's raw, fight-ending power, his tone changed fast. From the crushing KO of Amir Khan to the head-snapping uppercut that disintegrated Billy Joe Saunders' face, those memories still loom large over the sport.
If I have to pick, if I had to pick, I'll put Canelo. Just because of the weight disparity, you know, it's tough moving up that many weight classes. But if anybody could do it, it'll be Terrence Crawford. You know, he's talented. He's a great fighter. He does everything well. He adjusts well. He has the mindset. Canelo's gonna come prepared. I think he's gonna be totally motivated for this fight. I think you're gonna see like a great Canelo. I think you're gonna see a great Crawford. He's trying to test himself to be the greatest. Like, I mean, if he wins this fight, I mean, he enters that GOAT conversation. So.
Davis is clear on what Canelo will bring to the table, and that is not an adjustment in weight class. Davis put full respect on Crawford, but did not mince words on the truth. Canelo focused is a nightmare. Davis expects him to come in faster, stronger, smarter, and realize what he will be fighting for. In a moment of self-awareness, Kyrone Davis returned boxing to its most basic premise. Weight classes exist for a reason.
I don't like getting too much into that. Right. Weight classes is there for a reason. And when you're lighter, you can do different things. When you're heavier, you can do different things. With weight classes come different tools that you can use. Heavyweights use more of their body weight. They can use their long reach for certain different things when they're fighting smaller heavyweights. You got guys in small weight classes, they can run off combinations. You can't really say would Chocolito be as great of a combination puncher in super middleweight? Probably not.
He summed it up directly. Size is everything. Higher weight means there are more physical tools than just your skills. There is also mass, reach, and power. Kyrone Davis pointed out very clearly that what works at 147 does not necessarily hold up at 168. Then came Juan Manuel Marquez with all the cool confidence of a fighter who backs Canelo with no hesitation, no doubt.
Canelo Alvarez is a good fighter. He's a good fighter. He defeats his titles against William School. William School is a good fighter, but I think the experience, the power, Canelo has everything.
Marquez sees championship DNA and lists all the boxes that Canelo checks. There is strength and experience, and the way he dismantles tough contenders like William Skull. Marquez was very clear that this is not just about belts, but dominance. And Marquez clearly sees the weight gap, and even Crawford's great talent may not be enough to bridge it.
I don't like the fight because Terence Crawford is a good fighter, but in the sport of boxing, it has divisions. You know what I mean? You know?
Right, weight classes.
You know what?
Right?
Yeah, weight classes
for a reason.
Weight classes for and Terence Crawford is a good fighter in super lightweight, welterweight, super welterweight, but I think more. I remember when Terence Crawford fought with Madrimov.
Yes.
He looks slow. He looks with no power, and three more divisions. Two more divisions. I think it's a top fight for Terence Crawford, but Terence Crawford is a great fighter. He has a great defense. He has a good combination of punches, but I think the weight class is no good for him.
Marquez gives Crawford all the credit elite skill, slick defense, beautiful combinations, but doesn't see that being enough at 168. He has seen Crawford struggle with the step up in the past, even slight differences in speed, concerns around his power, and now he is taking a jump of 2 divisions. Even with all of Bud's natural gifts, Marquez says it will be too much. And then there was Roy Jones Jr. cutting through the noise with proper perspective as only a legend can.
I pay no attention to the pushing and shoving. I pay no attention to the weight factor. What I pay attention to is the skill level that both guys show in and out of the ring. And what I'm seeing is I see a hungry Crawford, a Crawford that has been looking for the opportunity for a long time, finally getting the opportunity, and really ready to grab the opportunity.
Roy was not worried about the trash talk or the headlines. What fascinated him was Crawford's hunger, a man chasing his legacy rather than simply wins. But as Roy said, you can't eat that hunger at this level to win a war. Then he keyed into the essence of what makes Canelo dangerous.
When you know how to box, when you're as skillful as Terence Crawford is, weight don't really matter much. Only thing that matters with the weight is can you take the punch. And I'm sure you've been sparring with super middles and light heavies, so I'm sure you probably can take the punch. So that's the only thing when you got skill. Now, if you don't have a skill, you can't take the weight, take it up, because you're gonna lose your punch, you're gonna lose everything. But when you got skill, all your stuff that you have goes up with you. You talk to the GOAT. I went out with a heavyweight.
He broke it down in a way only a legend could. While many see weight as mere restrictions, Roy believes real talent, skill, travels with you. Roy saw it, Roy did it, but here's the twist. This wasn't merely praising Crawford, it was also a soft warning. Canelo's power isn't simply weight-based. In fact, it includes precision, timing, and years of experience on his side. If Crawford can't take it one time, all that skill may not matter. That's where it gets risky. I thought when Lonnie Bay gave the humans some reality too. He made a point that others were too busy riding the hype train to see.
See, that's different. You can't really judge because you see the push. You can't really judge it by that because he couldn't stop Macronov for coming at him, and he's a 54-pounder. So it's different when you're getting punched on, and you got somebody that's really trying to hurt you. It's a different ball game. It's a different ball game. I was at the Sean Porter fight. And Sean Porter was giving Terence Crawford hell. Granted, he stopped him, but he was giving Terence Crawford hell.
What happens when he faces someone who does not back up, someone getting after him that is capable of real power with malicious intent? That's the kind of fighter Canelo is. Not only does he not care, he purposely seeks to destroy you. And then sadly came the moment when Lonnie B presented it plainly. The thing many fans of the sport refuse to hear but need to.
Canelo's gonna be more composed, a lot harder. See, Canelo's a lot harder to hit than people think. He's a lot harder to hit than people think, and I think he got enough experience to run Terrence Crawford into something. Terrence Crawford heart is too big sometimes, and he get hit. I think he can afford to get hit with Canelo. I think Canelo has a very good punch, and he used to knocking out bigger guys. Naturally bigger guys. He's coming from 200.
Canelo isn't just heavy-handed, he's sharp, patient, and lethal. He's efficient with his punches, doesn't take unnecessary risks, stalks, studies, and attacks when the time is right. Then Crawford's heart, his desire to fight through anything is what gets him clipped. Against a sharpshooter like Canelo, one solid shot can change the course of the fight in a split second. Then Lonnie B came in again, and this time he was really telling.
But Crawford is a great fighter. He boxes. He boxes extremely well. I don't think he boxes as good as Mayweather as far as the defensive and offense together. I think Crawford gets hit a little bit too much sometimes. I just think with Canelo, he can't afford to do that. If I had to pick and predict the way the fight gonna go, I got Crawford probably outbox him for the first 5-6 rounds, and then after that, it's interesting to see what's gonna happen. I think if he catch Crawford, it's gonna be a tough night.
He wasn't presenting it as a prediction, but as a warning. It wasn't an analysis of what we might see, it was a horrifying review of what can happen when an overzealous fighter, such as Crawford, eager to take a lid, goes against a methodical, cold killer like Canelo. Lonnie acknowledged that Crawford may be able to handle the early rounds, but as the fight goes on, as the rounds tick by, the pressure builds, the danger mounts. And that is exactly Canelo's domain. That is where you can become suddenly vulnerable with one mistake. Because to Canelo, it isn't just skills, it's skill, and surviving the storm before it consumes you. This discussion of Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Crawford has sparked an abundance of excitement, bold predictions, and strong opinions from legends, pros, and fans. After hearing so many breakdowns and expert opinions, it becomes clearer that Canelo is not like other opponents. He is not just powerful, but patient. He has experience, and he can take a punch. While Crawford may dictate the early rounds with movement and boxing IQ, the real test begins after round 6 when Canelo's pressure, timing, and body work start to wear on opponents. If Crawford's heart takes him into the fire and gets into exchanges, it could be a bad end. So we ask you, do you think Crawford could handle Canelo's power and pressure for 12 full rounds? Will his speed and footwork keep him safe? Will Canelo's experience and strength prove too much as the fight drags on? Can Crawford stand in the fire and still win? Where would you put your money?